I saw something the other day that really pissed me off. The Weeknd, huge pop star, you guys know him, had a huge show in Los Angeles at the beginning of September, and he lost his voice during it and he got booed by the crowd. And so I want to look into it and break it down. I believe this is maybe the first song. It's pretty high notes, he's giving it a lot. Sounds great. Okay, just right there, he sounded a little cracky, a little tired. Definitely maybe some signs that something was going to go wrong, but not that bad. And there you see it. There you see it. He has to drop a few words. He has to drop an octave because that was basically a scream that he attempted, a full-on scream. And I know exactly what he did. He meant to, actually scream, maybe with distortion, maybe with a belt. I don't know what he does vocally exactly. And he just yelled instead, which is terrible. Yelling is very bad for your voice. Like yelling, like when you're calling out to somebody, but in the moment, not preparing your voice. Like if you just have to call someone, you're just gonna do a vocal note like you would speak, but just much higher and with a huge pressure on your vocal folds, and everything gets super tense and inflamed, I guess. Let's hear it again. Yeah, the song is in E minor, so what he was screaming there was a B4 and a C5, very high stuff to be yelling, I mean, he messed up, he just messed up. And then what happens?
You know how much this kills me right now, I'm sorry. I love you, thank you so much.
Yeah, he is devastated, he's basically crying.
I don't know what just happened when I screamed, but I just lost my voice.
Yeah.
This is killing me. I don't want to stop the show.
I know.
But I can't give you the concert that I want to give you right now.
Okay, can we stop pretending that's really what's going on? Like, he's a showman. Of course, he wants to have a good show. He wants to have a good show for himself. The set is freaking crazy. There's a whole team of people there. I mean, there's like literally dozens of employees to set up the show. There's thousands, probably dozens of thousands of people there. But it's not just about giving it a good show. When you're a vocalist and you lose your voice in the first song, don't sing the show, because you might mess your voice up for weeks, for months, or for life. And he's on tour right now. And that's why, like, he can't really just say that. He can't say, hey, I shouldn't sing right now because I don't know what happened. I don't know the state of my voice. I need to see a voice doctor. I need to know what happened. But he says the part that, that sounds better to the audience, which is, I'm a showman, I want to give you a good show. I feel bad making you pay for a show like this, so I'm gonna reimburse you and we're gonna do another show. But that's not all of what's going on. And honestly, as an artist, you should be a little selfish, and it's very difficult. And we've seen this with Joji at Coachella, right? He was kind of forced by the festival organization to get back on stage and continue performing when he was probably having seizures. He didn't really go into detail about what it was, but he's had that for a while, which was one of the reasons he had to take a break from being Filthy Frank at some point. But anyhow, like, it's huge pressure. Just the simple fact that he has the set around him and he knows there's all the cameras and all the people working for him and stuff. It's very hard. So he definitely did the right thing, and a very difficult thing, that is, to step up like that and say, hey, I can't sing right now. It's not going to happen. but you have to protect your voice because, you know, he wants to do this probably for another few decades, and he wants to do other albums, he wants to do other tours. And if you sacrifice your voice for one show like that because the audience is booing you or because you feel that pressure, then you might have like 10 bad shows. And it's not really about having a bad show. Artists have bad shows all the time. It goes up and down. That's what it is. Being on tour by itself is exhausting, but singing through an injury and, you know, doing physical activities, pushing yourself through injuries is a very bad thing.
I'm gonna make sure everybody's good, get your money back, but I'll do a show real soon for you guys. But I wanted to come out and personally apologize and not tweet it or Instagram it or whatever. I want
That's
you guys
awesome.
to know.
Mad respect
And
for
I
that.
can't give you
Mad respect.
what I want to give you right now. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I love you guys so much.
I feel bad for him. I mean, he's already being punished, you know. It's like violence to a singer to not be able to sing the way you want to sing. It's a very difficult feeling. I can empathize with it because I've had problems with my voice for like years and years, and I found out last year that I have reflux that burns my throat when I sleep, and then my voice is very fragile because of that. And it's you know, it's a mental health concern for singers when you can't sing. So to have these thousands of people booing him on top of that, it's hard, and it seems like a lack of empathy from them. And they obviously, you know, regular people don't know much about vocal technique and how it works and things like that, I suppose. But also, they paid all this money, and I just saw Fantano's video about it. He's right. If you reimburse them, you still can't refund their flights and their car rides and all of those things, and you can't give the time back to them. And they made plans. Maybe it was a one-time thing. Maybe they absolutely can't make it to the other show. So it's very difficult. But I think he did the right thing, and it's kind of heartbreaking to just see how intense it all is. You know, so many people want to be rock stars or pop stars. They want to be singers like that on stage with all these eyes on them. But I think many people who want that would be their greatest nightmare, and they have no idea about it. Like I don't even want to be on stage like that because something can go wrong at any point. He's a great singer. He's got great technique. He's been doing this for like, I don't know, 20 years, you know, something like that. He must have started singing when he was a kid, and he's a great musician. And still, those mess up. You get on stage, you try to scream, and you yell instead, and that's it. You know, your voice is done for like a week. So it's very hard. There's just inherently a lot of pressure coming from being a pop star like that, and I can't really blame people either in the moment because they paid all this money, they came all this way probably, and they don't know. They just don't know how the voice works. But it's very upsetting, you know, from somebody who knows how that stuff works and how you really shouldn't push through singing pain. And many great singers kind of lost their voice with those things. Robert Plant, he says it himself, he doesn't really have the greatest vocal technique, but he was an incredible singer at the beginning of Led Zeppelin's career, and he was sick once and sang through it, and his voice has never sounded the same anymore and things like that. And, you know, he's batshit crazy, and he sings super high with a lot of power and maybe not the greatest technique, so I understand why it happened to him, but I don't want that to happen to The Weeknd, and I think he made the right decision. I think this is a huge source of frustration for everybody involved, but it was the right thing to do. And yeah, we should all be a little more empathetic. Have a good one, guys.